you beautiful people, welcome back to the Boar Shed. Today I wanted to take you guys through Bruce's 200 series Land Cruiser. We're going to show you what we've done on this vehicle, so stick around and let's dive into it. Okay, so let's start at the front. What we've got here, if you didn't know, is an EFS Bull Bar. Well, whatever you want to call it. Call it a bull bar, call it a bumper replacement bar. This thing will take a hit. It is obviously a steel bar, so couple of features about it. It is a cradle style, so when the bumper section is off, you do have your cradle, which will hold a winch, as you might see. Recovery points as well, which is obviously bolted straight to chassis, so you can recover off them. They're not fake ones. And then obviously the bar will go on to that cradle system as it does in this very vehicle. Then we've got fog light replacements, and I am running a quad optic X-ray vision light bar that we did develop a bracket for this bar to go in usually where the grill piece is. So that makes for a nice neat install. This definitely is a bar that sits very close to the front of the 200 series, so if you're looking for something that doesn't poke so much, this would be the one that you'd want to be moving into. What we have done on this though, guys, is we have finished the paint work, if you want to call it paint work, with some rhino lining. Now this is actually done on the rear bar as well, which we'll get to, but they've got a new spray nozzle for the rhino stuff now, so it's not so coarse. It's just come out as far as I'm aware, so that's what we've done on this. So it kind of doesn't look as aggressive. I know a lot of people are like, oh, rhino lining, it's supposed to go in the tub of your ute, but it definitely does work in this application. Bruce wanted something that was obviously going to be very sturdy, so that's what we've gone for the finish on this. Look, not bad. All right, so let's talk GVM space for Bruce. He has gone the AV/JMAX GVM upgrade, so that is the 4200 maintained 3.5 ton tow system. What you get in that, let's talk about that real quick. So obviously it's a full front strut assembly. Bruce has gone for the JMAX Alphas in this setup. Then you are doing a diff drop in the front with some upper control arms as well. And then in the rear, it is obviously shocks, heavy coils to suit. We add into, because most cases, a lot of our customers are towing, it's not part of the kit, but we add into the system the Airbag Man airbags. So that way, if the guys are throwing a van on the back, they can help level out the vehicle when they load up on the rear. But yes, this is what this is running. And then obviously, as a necessity for the axle load rating, because in these kits, you do get a replacement rear axle in the back. So your axle load ratings are going up quite high. That means you need a load rated rim and tire combination. So Bruce has gone the ROH hammers in an 18 inch because he had the 18s on this from standard, I'm pretty sure it was, because it's a VX, I think, off the top of my head. And then we're running the Yokohama ATX, XAT, ATX, whichever way you want to put that. These are the same aggressive all-terrain that we had on Amy's 200 series before she got rid of it. So that's what we're doing in the GVM space. So that is what we can achieve, even if it's post-registration, which is what this is. So if you've got it post-rego, we can do that for the 200 series, and that'll get you a 4200 GVM, maintaining 3.5 ton tow. Not a bad system if you ask me. All right, so welcome to the back of the vehicle. Like I mentioned before, rear bar work is through Kaymar. Now, been using Kaymar for a long time. They've obviously been around for a very long time. Look, another personal choice situation. We like to use these guys. We know the product, we know how it goes together, we know what it can and what it can't do, the options that are available. So good quality rear bar work for most of your wagon systems. I know they do Y62 as well. They've got all sorts of wonderful things that those guys produce for their rear bar setups. What Bruce has done though is dual tyre holders on the rear. So swing away is exactly the meaning of the whole situation. It does have gas struts on it, so then that'll assist you with weight on the back of it. And as you can see, we've got number plate lights all integrated and rear cameras, because your camera is usually here on the 200. Kind of doesn't make any sense because you'll have a big wheel in the way. So these guys do a genuine camera relocation kit, so that way your 360-degree camera system still operates and works just like it did from factory. A few other features as well, as I close this back up. Sensors as well, so any of your upper specs, because earlier models didn't have sensors in the rears, but anything late, even GXL, they've got sensors in the rears, so these guys have provisions for that. Then they've got provisions for things like your Anderson plug and your normal toe plug as well. That way it's covering you on absolutely everything that you need. Now, as you can see, the tyre then blocks off your tail lights. So they've obviously put tail lights into their bar work as well. That way you're legal and everything is hunky-dory for when you do something like this. You can change these out for dual jerry can holders and other things like that. Not an easy process, but it can be done. So I would highly recommend choosing what setup you'd want before you want to go chipping and changing, because they're not the easiest thing to change out, but very, very high quality work. And like I said before, on the front bar, I've done it in the rhino lining as well, same as the front. So it gives that nice black finish and super, super sturdy. Okay, welcome to the underside of the vehicle. Anyway, sorry. Right, so the reason why we're down here is because we have thrown a long ranger, long range fuel tank in the rear of this. Now, if you didn't know, I'm going to change my stance here. If you didn't know, in the 200, obviously your spare usually goes up under here, and above the spare holder is a secondary tank. Now, in these they are joined, so technically it's kind of one tank, but you do have two separate fuel cells. So how that works is we obviously remove the spare, it goes onto your rear wheel carrier, and then we put a replacement tank up underneath. Now, the reason why Bruce has gone the Long Ranger and not the Brown Davis, which is what we usually do, is because Long Ranger offer a 55-litre water tank integrated into their fuel cell. So it's the one tank, as you kind of see the whole thing, but on the top section, here I am trying to, use my hands to describe it to you guys. In the top section, there's 55-litre capacity of water, and then obviously the rest is diesel. So you do get replacement diesel, which brings the fuel capacity up, but then you have water on board as well. And then we have pumped it with a little water pump, and basically there's a little outlet just underneath the vehicle on this side. Now, you can kind of do whatever you like with the outlet. If you put a hose connection on or whatever you want to do, you can do that, but it is pumped, and that way you've got onboard water as well. But yeah, not a bad option if you wanted to carry water rather than do the dual jerry can holder thing with water in that. So great bit of kit for these. Well guys, that is it for Bruce's 200 series on this round of mods. I'm sure I'll probably see Bruce back for another round, but hey, if you got any questions, please put them in the comments below. Make sure you give us a thumbs up if you did like the video. Consider subscribing to the channel. That way you can see more things like this 200 series right beside me. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll catch you next time, hey? See yous.